Hi everybody. You don't probably recognize me now. It's been 30 years since I actually appeared in the books. But I really wanted to share my experiences with everybody. There's 3 adventures that I loved more than any other out of the entire series on the Magic Treehouse. And in this particular video today, I'm going to talk about the vacation under the volcano. Now, this is the first time that Anne and I got to go to an actual ancient historical time in history when clothing was very simple and it really wasn't as important to how you looked as it was to how you lived. And I just loved the chance to go with Anne to a place where there was so much new stuff we could experience, encountering the people there, seeing what life was like there. And of course, it was part of ancient Greece in Pompeii. And I look back on the experience now, and I just feel sorry that Anne chose not to continue any adventures after we finished becoming master librarians. Now, Morgan would send us to different places, and it was always up to her to make sure we had whatever clothing that we needed when we went there. And at first, when I got to Pompeii, I felt like I was wearing a dress, and as I continued to search out the document that she had sent us to look for, I got used to it. And then subsequently, in the years since that time, I had a chance to go to other lands where we got to use or wear the same type of clothing. And I just fell in love with this outfit, because the more chances I had to go, the more I realized how a simple life it was. In my other videos, I'm going to share with you about a couple of other adventures I had where I got to go to the same place where everybody wore the same kind of clothes. And I hope to share it again with everybody in the future at the other places we've gone and what we did. But if you've read the books, you know that it's been now 20 years, and really to me it seems like it was just yesterday I went. But that's the fun part really about being a time traveler. You can go back to those places again, and you don't have to use the book. At least for me, I don't. I can just touch it and wish myself there, really either being in the treehouse or not being in the treehouse. But Anne and I both succeeded in our missions each and every time, and I guess the reason I'm doing these memoirs is to share with people that are in love with the books of what I experienced there. Now you can see I've lost a lot of my hair. I'm not black-headed anymore. I don't have the luxury to claim that I'm still that young boy that I used to be, but still have my glasses, and I've gone back to Pompeii a few times. Really a nostalgic trip, not so much to go and search out some other ancient document, but I had to be sure to go back before even the eruption, so that I could try to experience life there and what they experienced themselves and interact with everybody. Because when Ann and I went, originally we were there for a specific task, a specific purpose, and we never had a chance really to do the things that we wanted to when we got there. We did get a chance to make notes of the lifestyle people had, but if any of you notice in the book, we never took anything to photograph our experiences. We didn't take anything that could make some kind of visual record of our trip. And I know a lot of kids are probably asking, how could that have happened? Why didn't you take something with you that would show some other evidence besides just bringing back that particular document that they had sent us for? And I don't know, I mean, we went whenever she told us to go, and we would try to interact as much as we could with the other kids and the other people that were there in that particular instance. And it was beyond words fun for me and for Ann to really travel without really traveling. I mean, you just touch the book that Morgan gave us, and then we would go there. And there's been so many adventures that we've been through in the years that we went to these places, but the three that I'm going to share is about when we actually went to ancient Greece and Rome. And at that time, the life there was hard in some aspects, being that children weren't all equal, that some were slaves, some were mistreated, some were in high royalty, like Julius Caesar's family. Somebody like that would have had more advantage than somebody that was poor. But it really is like that now too. But I plan to go back again to Pompeii even now as I'm speaking to you. As soon as I can finish my video here today, I'm going to go back and interact with others and hope that perhaps there'll be a chance for me to maybe I can photograph some things this time when I go back. But I've heard recently that Liongate Entertainment has bought the rights to all of the books, and maybe they'll do a video similar to this one where you'll get to see the experiences that we went through, although it won't be really Jack. It'll be someone else playing the role. And I hope you'll see them all, because I definitely want to watch those movies where we went to ancient Greece or Rome. The next of the videos that I am going to do has to do with the hour of the Olympics. And this is when we went to ancient Rome and had a chance to see the Colosseum, see horse races, chariot races, kind of similar to Ben-Hur, what he did, what he went through. And I've tried to go back to these places again since I've grown older, and I always want to go back. You know, it's like some places you've been to, once it was enough, and then other times you feel like, yeah, I haven't had enough of it. I want to go back again and go there. But in a very short reference to what I remember the most about going to Pompeii is how very primitive they lived. They had baker kilns where they actually would cook the food or bake the food in, and you know, they had very good soil to work with, because it was at the base of this volcano. And it was eventually their demise because none of them felt they wanted to leave where they were living at, even though they knew it was dangerous. Towards the end of the story, when I went to Pompeii, I and Anne both had to wear a pillow on our head. Now, that was really for our protection from all the fire, the lava shooting out of the volcano. It was to protect our heads from being seriously injured by that. And then we were really, really rushing at that last second to find a way of getting the document and then leaving. And eventually we did. But it was scary. But I still would choose that time in history to live, because wearing clothes that are simple and easy to take care of, I think, appealed to me. And just how everybody saw you the same way as they saw themselves, that everybody was there to do the best they could and to live their lives and to take care of each other. And that's so different than now. I mean, people have diversity, they have everything that they have, but I think it's been lost. I think our society has lost that flair to be simple in our lifestyle, but still have certain things. Muslim countries still pretty much wear the same clothes they always wore, and they have retained certain aspects of their traditions. The Western world has definitely abandoned all that. They don't care anymore about having any real value to certain things about history in America. Yeah, we've had all kinds of different clothes we've worn over the past 200 years, 240 years in fact, but we just don't really realize that holding on to tradition is very, very much not only a way of life, but it holds certain values very important to you, to your family. And I just long to go back to Pompeii right now. And I think what I've shared really suffices my personal visual record of what I remember about going to Pompeii, and I'm going to leave and go back, and maybe this time I'll stay, maybe I may not come back, but it's been fun to have the adventures that Anne and I had, and I thank you all for allowing me to share my feelings about the chiton, because I love it and I wouldn't take anything for it. That's why I'm going back to a time when people wore them, and I'm going to live amongst them. And maybe in our culture today, people will start wearing them again. So I'm Jack, and it's been fun to reminisce with you in my personal memoirs. And please watch again. There'll be 2 more about other storylines and adventures that I've had from the Magic Tree House. So, Magic Tree House, take me back to Pompeii again.